Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the morning show here on Stock Market TV. I am Spencer. There's JC. We have Steve. We have Alfonso. It's Crypto Friday. We have Louie. We have Kenny. We got a lot going on today. I was just wondering out loud to no one in particular, are we in like full on buy mode? Because we're getting random ass AI stocks up 20% this morning. I'm watching you, Ark. I'm watching the cryptos. Good day to talk to Louie. That's kind of where my head's at. I don't know where JC's head is at. I don't know where Steve's head is at. Let's find out, shall we? Go ahead, drop me a like if you'd be so kind. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you get notified whenever we go live. It's a nice little convenient thing. They just put the little one up there on the top right on YouTube, and then you'll get notified when we're live, which is right now. Here we go.
All right. I gotta tell you. Do you understand? So hold on. So Strazza's got the bull market glasses. Oh, rally mode glasses. What do you call them?
Rally shades.
Rally shades. I like the rally shades. The chat has also been a big fan of the rally shades. You got your HODL hat on, your green rally shades on. You got the Luck of the Irish t-shirt on.
Colin the Drill.
Very aggressive attire this morning. Very aggressive.
We call these days Crypto Fridays, do we not? I'm just dressing appropriately.
Got it. So I am underdressed for the occasion, is what you're saying.
Spencer, I think you were just talking to yourself in the back room. I was downstairs making coffee.
You was talking to Alfonso.
Talking to yourself?
No, I was talking to myself and Alfonso, but I talk to myself all the time.
Oh, I always
forget. Having an internal dialogue is healthy.
Oh, yeah.
He does it all the time. He'll just be in the back room like talking. I couldn't hear you. I was waiting.
Yeah, he's always like cursing, and I'm like, what happened? He's like, nothing. I'm like, I'm just sitting there minding my own business, and like Spencer just like random like Tourette's syndrome. He's just like, fuck. I'm like, what? He's like, what happened?
Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing ever happened. But it's my internal dialogue. Give me a break.
Like God only knows what Jesus. All right, Spencer. On that note, can we do? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Dow futures this morning down 146 points. That's 1/3% to the downside. S&P is pretty flat, down 8 handles. 5,500, by the way, for S&P futures. Wow, that's 100 points below that big level.
They were green. They were green at 5 o'clock this morning. All of them.
Well, I didn't know you got up that early. To be honest, good for you. You're fired up this morning. Nasdaq 100 futures, pretty much flat. Down 40 points, 22, basically less than 1/4%. 30-year bond futures up 0.5%, just under 116. You got crude oil down 1.5% at 62. Copper down 1% at 480. Gold down 1%, 3,300. Silver down 0.2%, 3,330. With the VIX up this morning to 2675. Over in funny money land is what's got my attention this morning. Bitcoin. Up another 750 points, pushing 95,000 for Bitcoin. You got Ethereum pushing 1,800, up another percent this morning. You got Solana 154, up another percent this morning. And the total crypto market cap, Mr. Spencer Israel, inching higher, 2.92 trillion. 2.92 trillion. Can we get back to 3 trillion? I think we can.
Would you just look at those last 3 days candles in Bitcoin?
Seriously.
Really nice.
Yes, seriously.
100 this weekend?
I mean, based on the looks of it, I mean, I'm not going to bet against that. I mean, I'm long. I'm in MicroStrategy. I got the IBIT, I got the Bitcoin, I got the Sol. Like, I got the Ripple. I mean, I got the crypto punks. I mean, like, I'm in, bro. So, like, I'm talking my book here, but I'm not gonna say no.
The Jasmine, a little spice.
So why don't you school the people about the Jasmine?
No, I don't know anything about the Jasmine. All I know is that the Jasmy has one of the best looking failed tops, and it's printing like right now.
So the ticker symbol for Jasmy?
JASMYUSD.
So
Don't razz me, Jasmy.
So this is the Jasmy. You think that if it's above this, I mean, all those lows from last year, basically, right?
Yeah, scooping.
The squeeze is on.
But there's a lot of stuff that looks like that. That's just like a really clean and clear pattern, but that's the kind of stuff I'm interested in. The Bitcoin miners, many of them look like this with these failed toppies. Solana looks like that.
So Jasmy, the 75th largest token, trading just under $1 billion currently, 880 million.
It's slightly above my line.
What is your line, out of curiosity? I didn't realize you had one.
It changes.
Got it. So the lines move. So right now it's above your line. Got it. So we know at the bare minimum, 890 million market capitalization is to fits those parameters. Do I have that right?
Yeah, I'll take that. Sure. That's good.
I know it's Crypto Friday. I know it's Crypto Friday, and we want to talk about these cryptos, but we'll have plenty of time to talk about that with Louis.
Yeah.
I'd like to come back to TradFi here. You put up a great chart yesterday talking about V bottoms and market breadth. Man, a lot of lingo, a lot of
was it?
A lot of fancy words there. Do you want to school us, uninformed parties about all these things going on? What is a V bottom? Is that anything like a W bottom? What is this breadth analysis that you have here?
I didn't think it was very lingo-y. I thought it was very clear and simple and straight to the point. All I'm trying to say is some sort of bottom is very likely in or has already begun that process. However, that doesn't tell us really what we need to know as traders and investors. Bottoms come in all different shapes and sizes. So all I did was simply go back to the last two cycles, to the last two bottoms, and say they couldn't have been more different. Look at the V versus something like the W, this big rounding bottom situation that we had in 2022. And I'm simply wondering now, I'm asking myself the question every day, is this going to be more like 2020 and a V, or more like 2022 and some sort of prolonged base building situation? Because I'm going to have to trade differently depending on which it is.
And then we've seen these V bottoms before. Even V bottoms, you see a lot of times you see that breadth improvement before the ultimate bottom. You saw that in certainly in 2022. You saw that in 2009, for example.
Yeah.
You didn't see it in COVID.
COVID was
it was
that was like a rapid cycle
prior to the price lows. It all happened simultaneously. So you're saying that this one could be like that?
A lot of signals were abbreviated during the COVID cycle. I am staying super open-minded to a V bottom here. I think this was a really event-driven situation, and we're one headline or tweet away from just zooming higher, right back to where we came from, just like all the international indexes are, just like Bitcoin maybe does out here this weekend or next week. I think US follows. So with every day that passes, we're getting more and more data, I think, that indicates maybe it is more like a V this time. We'll see.
We've got monthly candles coming up next week. I don't know if you heard. It's a big deal. It's a big deal around here, monthly candles. And I got to tell you, the German DAX is getting close to putting in an all-time monthly closing high. So for a bear market, which I keep being told that we're in a bear market, which, especially when they come from, people that are angry about the political situation telling me it's a bear market. You're seeing a lot of that. You're seeing the geniuses over at The Economist magazine, brilliantly telling us how terrible everything is in America. I guess we'll see, right? I guess we'll see,
what? Who do you think's telling the truth out here? China or USA?
I think they're both liars.
Well, they're either talking or they're not.
I don't trust either one of them. Does that make me cynical, or do I have a valid point? Why would I trust anything coming from the U.S. government? Obviously, I'm not going to trust anything coming from China. They're just a bunch of lying bastards. But in America, are they much better? As far as I'm concerned, what's the difference? I don't trust any of them. You know what I trust? I trust the bond market and I trust dogs. That's it. Nothing else after that. After that, I trust nothing. I go to price. Price don't lie, baby. Price don't lie.
I think they're gonna figure something out.
Is that Rasheed Wallace who said that? Price don't lie.
You think so?
I think it was Rasheed Wallace.
Huh.
From North Carolina.
Yeah. It was great.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, does that, like, serious question? Does that make me cynical, or
I think
does that make me an asshole that I don't trust what the federal government is telling me, or the news sources that are quote unquote reporting on what the federal government is doing? Like, I don't trust those people.
No, I think it's fine. You know, it's a hard game to play to try and figure this stuff out.
One of my dad's buddies, we were at Arthur Avenue. You know, we're in Arthur Avenue and, you know, having a nice Italian meal. And, you know, my dad's buddy lives in the Bronx, one of his best friends growing up. And, you know, we're sitting there chatting and he's like, oh, but I read in the New York Times that it was like this, so it must be true. I'm like, are you crazy? This was not even like before all these companies fired all, you know, the CNN people fired everybody. This was before that. I'm like, are you crazy? You actually believe that? And he was like upset with me that I didn't trust these news sources. I'm like, are you shitting me? They are literally lying to you as a business model. Literally, that is their job. Their job is not to tell you the truth. Their job is not to give you the facts. Their only job is to convince you that you need to read their propaganda. That's their only job. I don't know where like civilians came up with the idea that the news is there to actually provide you with truthful information.
See, not everyone wants
at what point in the growth of humanity were people so dumb that they were convinced that news sources are in the business of telling the truth? Like, when did that happen?
Not everyone looks at the world so cynically, JC, right? I mean, you read news and you trust news all the time. You just act like
what?
You tell us things that you're reading, right?
Like what?
Every time you bring up a thing that you heard or you read, or right, like that's you believing it. That's you drinking the Kool-Aid, eating the sausage, right? So
I don't know, Spencer.
You know,
is Spencer butthurt that I called out a few of your favorite news sources?
It's an awfully cynical way to think about the world, is all I'm saying.
You know, it's so peaceful though. You know, because you're never disappointed. I'm never disappointed because I just assume that they're liars, and then maybe they're not, but they probably are, you know?
What about you, Spencer?
No, I don't assume they are liars. It all depends, man. It all depends.
Who's telling the truth, China or USA?
Oh, that's the question.
Yeah.
Well, they both have a record of lying to their own citizens. Some, maybe one more than others, right? China, like Jason
said, agreed, Spencer, but not the point, right?
China believe almost nothing, right? America, you can believe a little more. You can believe America more than you can China.
I agree with that.
You know,
but,
I mean,
but that's not the point. The point is I don't trust any of them.
Yeah, definitely. There for sure. Look, what's the famous saying among journalists, JC? If your mom says she loves you, check it out. Okay, they're the most skeptical of us, of people. That's their job, is to ask questions. So, yes, some of them regurgitate false information. We only find that out after the fact.
It's like my buddy. Oh my God, that stripper was so nice to me. She's like, oh my God, like she was like so nice. Look, she gave me a discount. I only had to pay $1,000.
Sometimes we find out things that we thought were true were not true. We find it out after the fact. It's like finding out that it wasn't a bull market. It was a bear trap, or vice versa. You don't know until after the fact. So that's just kind of the way it goes sometimes.
We were in Costa Rica and we didn't tell one of our buddies where we were going, and he's like, "The girls are real friendly around here."
It doesn't matter what they call things. Wavy in the chat. JC sounds like the Alex Jones of financial media. Ooh, Wavy.
Wait a minute.
The guy that played for the Braves?
Get out of here
Alex
with
Jones?
that. I don't want to hear that. Come on.
Chipper Jones, you mean?
Yes.
He's calling you a flat earther.
JC is the Chipper Jones of this.
Yeah, I know flat earthers. Those guys are wild, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
On this note,
Listen, I got to tell you something about the
He's a new
conspiracy.
load
Hold on.
denier.
I got to tell you something about the conspiracy theorists. Like, if you think the Earth is flat, fine. If you think Michelle Obama is a dude,
What are we talking
fine.
about this morning?
Hold on. Like, if you are convinced of a conspiracy theory, fine. But if you believe all of them, then you're the problem. You see what I'm saying? Like, the Earth can't be flat, and Michelle Obama's a dude, and that other thing. Like, all of those conspiracy theories can't be true. Like,
Okay.
if you believe
so
one,
you're saying pick one.
you can pick one, and you're only like a 4 crazy, right?
Okay.
To quote the Great Matrix, right?
All right,
You're only a 4 crazy. But if you
that's
believe
not
them
a
all,
bad-
you're the
that's-
crazy.
I actually kind of
If
agree
you
with
could
that.
pick one, what is it?
Oh, come on now.
Everybody pick a conspiracy theory.
Well, my conspiracy theory was like proven true, which was that the government was spying on us.
Okay.
What about isn't there like
that
the
happened.
airport in Colorado? There's like something under the airport in Colorado or
Yeah,
something.
it's the Illuminati. Yeah, or
Illuminati.
or the Freemasons.
Ooh, those
Yeah.
are good ones.
Those
That's
are
a good
good
one.
ones. I'm into
I would-
that.
The secret society, underground society stuff.
Yeah,
Those are
I'm into
always
that.
cool.
I'm into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll believe that one. How's that? Is that fair? But I don't believe all of them.
It's fine. Can we talk about Alphabet here? Before we bring
Do we
Louis
have
out.
to call it that?
All right, Google. I'm sorry. Sheesh. Google. Big company. You may have heard of it. They're what, top 4, top 5 in the world, right? In terms of value.
This is the best opportunity of any of the Mag 7s right now, today.
So earnings last night, what are we up? 4% this morning?
5%?
Yeah, something like that. The numbers all came in above estimates. They pretty much always do, right? The earnings per share, the revenue, the search, the cloud, the advertising, all came in at or above estimates. Here's what they said. Oh, by the way, a nice, cool 5% dividend raise, $70 billion buyback. No big deal. No big deal. Basically, it was kind of, from what I saw, and I didn't listen to the call before, from what I read in the media, in the news about the call, it was pretty much all systems go for Alphabet. I know they're sort of in the crosshairs of the FTC/DOJ right now with this antitrust stuff with Chrome and all that, but it kind of seemed like they're still trucking along doing their AI thing.
These buybacks that these big growth stocks do, it's incredible. They have so much money. And we always talk about how the mega cap growths, the Mag 7s, rotate in terms of leadership over time and through cycles. They also rotate in terms of weakness, right? There's always one Mag 7 that's like kicked out, Tesla, right? Google right now. That sentiment just really sours on, and it actually becomes pretty cheap, right? On like price to earnings basis or any sort of fundamental basis. And then they become bargains. And it's always some sort of story like, oh, they missed AI. It's over for Google now, right? This was Meta a few years back. This was Apple not long ago. So Google's the one who missed it now, and I think is just trading at a big discount. And the stock's on sale. If I could buy one Mag 7 today, it'd be Google, even on the earnings pop.
Can you throw up the Amazon, speaking of Mag 7s there, slide 5, please?
Amazon reports Thursday, along with Apple. It's a big
Because
deal.
this, I think, I mean, I hate to say it, but this might be the most important chart in the world, or at least part of the conversation. Do you not agree with that, Spencer?
No, I yes, I do not agree. I don't know how to answer that. No, I do not agree.
Let me tell you why I think it's at least in the conversation, whether it's the most important chart in the world or not, it doesn't really matter. The reason I think it's so important is because this represents 22% of the entire consumer discretionary index. So if you want to just quickly just go to a slide 4 and then come back to the Amazon. So when you look at the consumer discretionary index, we are below those prior cycle highs, right? So those late 21, early 22 highs, we are below that. So technology and communications both successfully retested those prior cycle highs and bounced. Industrials and financials didn't even retest those, showing relative strength. So consumer discretionary, of all of the offensive sectors in the market, is the only one that's below that. So if you go inside and see what's inside the consumer discretionary index, go to Amazon. This is 22%. This is a big one. And what do you know? We are right there at those prior cycle highs. So if we're above 190 and even 200 to really get this thing going, I don't think there's anything more bullish for equities than something like that. And the reason why I think it's so important is because if that doesn't happen and Amazon completely falls apart, that's not good for consumer discretionary. And I think the overall markets are going to probably have a hard time progressing with consumer discretionaries getting slaughtered. So if you reverse engineer what we think is going to happen, I think Amazon goes up, pulls consumer discretionary up with it. And, you're looking at the S&P 500 at 6,000. How do you like
I think
it
it's an
now?
important chart. I think it's in general, you want to see these big polarity levels reclaimed on, on this rally attempt.
And it's the only one that's not above. It's the only one.
Huh?
It's the only one that's not above. Consumer discretionary is not above the prior cycle highs.
Yeah, but there's other stuff.
All the other ones are. So that's what I'm saying. This is
Talking
the
about you're talking specifically about large cap sector spiders only, right?
Yup.
Yeah.
Financials and industrials never retested the prior cycle highs. Communication and technology both did successfully, and discretionary did not. 70% of GDP, I'm told, right, Dre? Dre Summers in the house, dropping that 70% bomb. Everybody keeps telling me that. I don't know if it's fake news or if that's real. 70% of the U.S. economy is the consumer. I don't know.
Okay, I'll tell you what's been bullish since the market bottomed and started rallying. Risk appetite. Stuff like ARK, small caps, micro caps, actually trending a lot better and showing relative strength versus large caps off the lows. That really stands out. I think that's great.
How about Mercado Libre? Somebody mentioned it in the chat. Who mentioned it in the chat? I want to give props. Yasul.
Looks incredible. That's one of the best charts you're going to find out there right now.
So if Mercado Libre, the Amazon of Latin America, is ripping to new all-time highs, you think the Amazon of America ain't? You feel me on that?
They got some Forex tailwinds.
Tell me more. Tell me more about these Forex tailwinds that you speak of.
Well, the dollar is
what's Mercado Libre? It's Argentina?
I think it's like technically Argentinian, but I think that they're all over the place, all over Latin America, right? Alfonso, our resident Latin American correspondent, they're in Venezuela. Are they in Mexico too, Fonz? Is it Mexico too? Yeah, Mexico also. And what about like Chile, Peru, Uruguay, all of those also? Fonz says yes. Fonz says yes. I trust Fonz, our local Venezuelan correspondent. I trust him. By the way, Uruguayan wine is hot right now, dude. So if you guys aren't drinking wine from Uruguay, get some religion. You want to drink the Tanat. Tanat from Uruguay. It's a Rhone varietal that they grow down there. Uruguayan Tanat. Get involved, Spencer.
All right, I'll do my best. Let's bring out Kenny real fast, and then we'll bring Louis out to talk crypto, okay? Cool.
It's been a long time coming. They ain't come for my clock, they took it. Putting up numbers, 99 problems, and I still kept it 100. Hold up. Yeah.
Mr. Kenny Glick, how are you, sir?
All right, weekend starting at my house already. What's going on, baby?
Well, I see the Bob Marley smoking a joint behind you. So, all right. Good morning.
Yeah. Ooh, I've been on hiatus, so I'm looking forward to taking part again one of these days.
You're on a hiatus. All right. Your eyes don't look it, but all right.
I haven't wakened
early in the morning.
No waking and baking since '92. It's been a while.
Mr. Kenny Glick, we've got stocks down today, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Right.
It's fantastic. But they weren't down earlier. And if you were with us last night on the Schmooze, we were talking some monstrous, let's call it the lifetime VWAP of the QQQ, basically, from all-time highs with the crash that we just went through to where we were last night. We were at a basically all-time high VWAP, hitting resistance last night. So that resistance held up. And this morning, just one trade, and it was Google short, and it's fantastic. So we went over this on the Schmooze. Do I have my charts up? Let me show it to you.
Oh, yeah, you do. Yep. Let's go.
Yeah.
Can someone tell me why, Kenny, why don't I get invited to those schmoozes anymore?
Everyone's invited, baby. Everyone's invited.
I feel a little bit left out.
Oh, you got to check your email. Check your spam folder, as the kids say.
Oh, check the spam. Is that what the kids do? They check their spam? All right. Yeah, my invite must have gotten left in the mail. All right, I'll check.
So all this hard work, you missed it. So we were talking about red lines and where to draw them, support and just pivot points. and we said tomorrow morning when you wake up, let the VWAP confirm the idea that you might want to take a little short on the gook. And here it is. So again, missed the first move by, I'm not up around, I got up around 7:30, but I saw, look how it hit the same exact spot from last night, bounced off it. And there's your moment of truth right there around 7:15, where you couldn't get back over the VWAP and you start to roll, otherwise known as the finger of God. And the roll is where you short and you use the VWAP as your, as you're out. So if you're wrong, you're getting out here, but we're right. And you got down to that little pivot point where you cover some. And then, right in this mess, we just covered a little bit more, hoping for some more. But again, as the VWAP trails down, that's our new out. So if it rips again in our face, like it probably will, I'm actually bullish this morning. So I'm excited that the market's starting down. I think we could tack on a little bit more. But, talking about that, this is a huge moment. And we were talking with my other technician over there, Solid Jello, and he was pointing out this is a really big moment from taking the highs of the QQQ with the crash lows, putting it on the chart, and it spit out around 470. And so he was looking for a retrace to 465.50, and that's exactly where we are right now. So kind of spooky, kind of voodoo if you were there last night. And, if you took this trade, you're on your way to, a nice day.
So you have other technicians? Are you cheating on us?
I am. Well, Solid Jello, he was he's the shining beacon of hope for everybody that ever joins my room, because he was originally a member back in 2007, and now he has taken what I've shown him and all the VWAP, as we've evolved as VWAPian traders, he's developed.
Whoa, wait.
You like that
Did
word?
you just call yourself a VWAPian trader?
Yes. You don't know about us?
I'm totally into that.
It's a religion, baby. We got our own planet, baby.
VWAPian traders.
Yes.
I'm so into that. That's like a Burgundian varietal, a VWAPian trader.
Get your t-shirts. Get your t-shirts and your bumper stickers, baby. We already got mugs. We got mugs, baby. Let's go.
Wow, we got mugs. I don't have a mug.
Look,
I want to be a VWAPian trader. I mean, I am a VWAPian trader. I just never called myself that.
There you go. It's the way to be. It's the way to live, man. It's the new religion.
All right. Shout out to a one Solid Jello.
He's doing fantastic things. Yeah, he's taken basically he's scoured the internet and just made this. He's created what, these red lines that I draw. I like doing something. These lines that I draw are just pivot points from high-low candlesticks. He has an algo that actually draws them for you and projects the upside move and the downside move. So it's pretty cool stuff. So him and Nos combined, I think we're on a cusp of something really great.
All right. If you missed it, guys, yesterday, Kenny went live for over an hour in the afternoon. I dropped the link in the chat. This is what the page looks like. Check out this replay. It is basically Kenny espousing his that's a SAT word, espousing his strategy,
Good one.
how he finds these stocks to trade every day and how he trades them using VWAP. He comes on this show every day for 5 minutes, but yesterday was much more in detail about how he does his every day, how you can too. That's the bottom line is he does it and then you can too. It's really that's how it is.
So, yes, I like that. And Bob, there was another trade. I didn't take this one, but this is Celestica. Again, the one thing about what we do is we do trade some bizarre stocks, stocks that we don't normally trade. Like I'm looking at Colgate. Who even looks at this stock today, right? But they reported earnings. I'm looking at Schlumberger. They got some earnings. So that one I'm actually looking for a buy. There's not much going on so far pre-market, but so far one of our traders took the Celestica trade. And just look, this is the lines we drew last night. It came back to that same price. And then you got the little Kardashian bottom right there. And then their buyer at 87.70 apparently made some money. So good for that guy. Good job, Big Jamie in the room. So, yeah, people are embracing what we laid down last night and already having a decent day. So good start. You guys, what do you got going on for the weekend?
I got the circus tonight.
Ooh.
And then I got we got opening ceremonies for the softball tomorrow. Then we're going minor league baseball, AAA ball on Sunday. And then I got on Wednesday night, I'm going to the Paw Patrol concert.
Paw Patrol. I thought you were going to say you're going to bet the StockTwits thing, so I guess I'm not going to see you. You might win an award. Can I accept it for you?
No, yeah. I'll write an acceptance speech, but no, I'll be at the Paw Patrol concert. You know, there'll be Marshall, Chase, Sky,
Oh my God.
Rocky, Rubble, obviously. You know, the whole crew's gonna be there.
Obviously, Rubble. Duh, guys.
Rubble's my
come on.
favorite.
At least you don't have to sit through Teletubbies. That was some awful stuff. And
No,
Barney.
Teletubbies is weak. No. This is the Paw Patrol, bro. This is
Yeah.
hot right now.
Oh,
the
I
hottest
had-
ticket in town.
I had Dora the Explorer in my life, big time.
Yeah,
So,
Dora's cool.
yeah, and it's
There's no Rubble, but you know.
cousin Diego. Yeah. I kind of miss those days, but yeah, that's
All right.
nice.
Adios, Kenny.
All
Adios,
right, I'll
Kenny.
see
Go
you
get
guys
him,
in the
buddy.
room. All right, have fun, everybody. Have a good weekend. If I don't.
Oh, sorry. That was a Dora reference, the Spanish. Anyway, okay, moving on.
Dora the Explorer. Yeah. Dora's cool.
Louis, I know you've been here waiting. We got to bring him out. Bring him out.
Got my fingers on the pulse, avocado and toast.
All right.
Morning, guys. How's it
avocado
going?
and toast.
Avocado.
Avocado on toast. How's it going, guys?
How much avocado and toast do you actually consume in New Zealand?
I gotta say, I can't even remember the last time I had avocado on toast. I think we need to change that intro. It's just not matching the vibe at all.
Yeah. No. I like the avocado toast with red onions.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe a
That's
little
the way to do
bit of tomato sprinkled in there.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Maybe some cherry tomatoes. I'm all right.
It's just funny that because there was a guy like 10 years ago the billionaire who in Australia, I don't remember who it was, Louis. He went viral for complaining that the reason millennials are broke is because they're spending $15 and $20 on their damn avocado toast. And avocado toast became like a symbol of like the broke millennial, right? Because they're spending all their money on their damn avocado toast. And I know you're not in Australia, you're in New Zealand, but it's close enough. So I think it's funny that we have that.
That's racist for sure.
No,
Yes, it's a
like,
god.
it's the same-
You
it's
know,
the same
you're
part
calling
of
me
the
an
world.
You let
Australian.
that happen? You let that happen?
Yeah,
Louis?
God. You know, can't you hear this accent? I mean, surely it sounds different to the Australian one. I mean, like one thing as well is flat whites. Like we just drink a tremendous amount of flat whites here. We've got a massive coffee culture.
What is
massive
a
cafe.
flat white?
It's a particular type of coffee. It's slightly different to a cappuccino and a latte. I'm saying flat whites.
Fat
Strazza,
white. Now
not
that's
fat.
America.
I can't.
All right, Louis. So one of the things that we like to joke around here is that when I ask you when moon, right? That's how the kids talk. When moon means when will it break out, right? Is the translation here. So when moon seems like it's mooning. Seems
It's
like
already mooning,
this
baby.
is crypto summer, right? We are here, Solana summer. Is this right?
Forget Solana. Throw Sui. Put the Sui chart on right
Put
now.
the Sui chart up.
Solana's back above those August lows, but
Dude, look at
Sui got
that
nowhere near
polarity,
there.
man.
We hit these March highs. I looked at it saying, hey, look, Bitcoin has hit 70,000. It had that full retest, but we don't tend to just look at Bitcoin and we just leave it there, right? We want to go underneath the surface. We want to find the best opportunities, and we're always looking for relative strength, right? Because we're here to make money, and the way we do that is by leaning on the opportunities that are most profitable, that are showing the most amount of strength. Sui, unlike everything else, which was testing its lows, was like Bitcoin. It was testing its March highs, and so again, we looked at that and said, comparatively, that's relative strength. We were buying this retest at around 2, and it's just been spiking ever since. The trade has nearly doubled since we got into it literally last week. And so this one's just been an absolute home run. And again, just pointing to the fact that relative strength is totally there. And we have transitioned from a market that has been providing nothing but risk to people, because these things have just been going down, down, and down. But now we're transitioning from a period of risk to opportunity. And I think Sui is just a great example of that.
Man, that polarity. I mean, Bitcoin did something similar, right? So is there just like a very clear relationship there between Bitcoin and Sui?
Yeah, totally. Bitcoin retesting its March highs, held in firmly, and we've just skyrocketed through that 90,000 level. And so I think even if we give some back, even if we go back down to the 80,000s, that will be a higher low. I think we're changing the trend here. We've transitioned from a sideways to more of an upward trend after that massive breakout back above 90K. And I think dips are worth buying. That's what I think. That's the market that we're in now.
So we were talking yesterday is what, about 10, 11 billion dollars in market capitalization?
Yeah, probably closer to 10, probably closer to 11, 12 after this move. I'm not sure what the exact figure is.
You know, one of the things that I had to learn the hard way from one of my mentors, Ralph Acampora, was don't fight Papa Dow. Don't fight Papa Dow, JC. You know, can we make a similar argument about don't fight Papa Bitcoin?
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
We've been
like
saying this.
am I just being cute and trying to include my mentor in the conversation, Ralph Acampora, or do you think there's actually something there?
No, of course. I mean, look, we are here because we love the traditional wisdom of technical analysis. And so, look, we're trading all of these really fast moving coins and stocks because that's where the opportunities are, particularly in crypto, right? You want to get a little bit junky to find where the juice is. But the beauty in all of that is that we're just applying the same technical analysis principles that have been around for 100 years. We're applying that to this new asset class because, again, we're just studying behavior. We're basically profiting and arbitraging off of inefficiencies and inefficiencies of positioning, of human behavior, and so totally. And when it comes to profiting off inefficiencies, I think a really big one right now is ETH. I think that Ethereum has really underperformed
Throw up
for the
7. Throw up slide 7 there first, and then we'll go to the Bitcoin because I want to talk about this. This is really important.
Everybody is just throwing Ethereum out, and rightfully so. This thing's just been hot garbage, but I think this is a massive opportunity. I think that ETH is going to begin outperforming into the rest of 2025. I think that's where we're at right now.
So
Every-
the support's going to come in where it needs to.
Hell yeah. And everybody's on Twitter. Everyone's on Twitter just everyone is so depressed about ETH. You know, there's just this constant self-deprecating humor on Twitter. Everybody's just complaining and crying about how much money they could have lost or how much money they could have saved or they could have made if they just didn't hold ETH when they just could have managed risk and just traded properly. And now we're back towards the scene of the crime, right? Where in 2021, we're all basically saying that ETH was the most bullish chart on the planet. And that was absolutely right. It just kept ripping through every single resistance level. But now we're back to the place where that entire move began. And so everybody's super bearish, but I don't really understand. I think this is just a tremendous opportunity to be had in ETH. And I think that ETH begins outperforming into the rest of 2025.
Man, I hope you're right. I don't own much ETH. I use ETH as like a utility. Like I use it like to actually transact on chain is really the only reason I have ETH. So I just kind of have like some loose change, I guess, is kind of how I look at it. Like, I don't know how they do it in New Zealand, but us silly Americans, we put loose change, like, or at least we used to. We used to put loose change like in a jar, right? And then I would take the loose change. And I even did this when I was working. Like I remember like 2005, 6, 7, 8. Like I would go have lunch, I would get change and I would throw it in the drawer. And then when the drawer would fill up, I would take it to was it Commerce Bank, TD Bank, one of those. And I would pour the thing in this little machine and you could guess how much change you got. And if you got within like a certain amount, you win a prize. But either way, so I would get it. They would give me the cash and I would go buy wine with it. That was kind of like my thing. You know, I'd go, that was even before I knew anything about wine. Steve Strazza also making a great point here. My NFTs are ETH. While they're not ETH, right? So I do have some NFT exposure. And so ETH ripping would benefit those positions. So yeah, Strazza's right. I'm rooting for ETH. So I guess technically I have a position in ETH, even though I don't. So yeah, Strazza's right. All right.
Remember back in 2022 when people were like, you know what, I'm going to start denominating my portfolio in Ethereum. Like that was the top, right?
I said that. Well, I shouldn't say I said that. I asked the question, should we be denominating our lives in ETH? That's not, I'm not going to lie. I asked the question.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. Well, next time you start having those thoughts, just let me know and we can begin to have that conversation again.
You know, because on chain, you essentially are, or at least you were denominating everything in ETH. I was always convert to dollars guy. That's just easier for me because, to be honest with you, the math was just too hard for me. It was just too unnecessary mathematics. Like, why am I like dividing by this? Just tell me how many dollars. Just give me the dollars.
Exactly. Everything is denominated in dollars. My portfolio values, that's denominated in dollars. Like, why is this one sleeve of my portfolio denominated in some
Well, Louis, how do you think about that living in New Zealand? Like, do you denominate life in Kiwi or do you denominate your life in USD?
Of certainly New Zealand dollars. Everything's New Zealand dollars. And so
But I understand, like, in your day-to-day, like if you're buying a sheep
Yeah.
or something, you pay New Zealand dollars. But like, what about like your actual kind of like, you know, maybe like your salary and your net worth, and like, do you think about those things in dollars, or does everything go back to Kiwi?
everything's back in Kiwi. And
Really?
so
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
In fact, I can't even think of a single thing that I denominate in US dollars.
So you
Yeah.
always translate back to Kiwi. That's really interesting. All right. I wouldn't have
Yeah,
thought
totally.
that. I would have, you know, maybe that's just my American ignorance that I just assume they came back to America. All right.
Yeah. Well, hey,
Can we throw up Bitcoin, please? Please, slide 2. Come on.
sure thing.
This chart is really something, man. This is the road to 240. On the road again.
Get you on the road again. Isn't that isn't that a New Zealand song? Okay, I might be wrong.
I don't think people in
Anyway.
New Zealand make songs. They make songs there.
Are
Are there a lot of New Zealand musicians?
Well, we got Lord, you know.
Who? What about
Please tell me you're joking.
is it just like is it like one of those Modis playing the ukulele? Is that what you guys got?
Oh, bloody. Okay, moving on. I'm not even going to entertain that, JC. You know,
Is there a big rap
240.
scene in New Zealand? Is Auckland like? Is there like a big like gangster
Oh,
rap?
bro,
thing?
don't even talk to me about New Zealand rap. It is just god awful. There's some things that we do amazing as a country. Like we make amazing flat whites. Like rap is just like one thing that you just don't want to touch here.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. All right. So, like, come on, man. You had S&Ps, the DAX, the NASDAQ, the Dow, all retest those prior cycle highs, and Bitcoin did not. And so we're consolidating in a very healthy fashion, in my experience. And below that 102 level, Louis, a breakout above that gets us to 150.
Sure thing. Don't disagree with you. I mean, the question is, JC, do we get to 150 in 2025?
Do we get to 150 in the first half of 2025?
In the first half? JC, come on. Really? You think that's the question in the first half? Wow.
I mean, you think it's out of the question?
I totally think that's out of the question. I think it's a toss-up. I'll give it a 50-50 that we get to 155. Me personally, I don't think so. I think 155, that's a 2026.
Well,
right now.
so let's see. So to get to 155, let's call it a 50% move, 60% move, right? You just gotta move from just last year. You gotta move. It doubled. You had 100% move. You had 100% move in 4 months last year. On that breakout there. So you don't think that you can get that again? Because that's what it would be, right? So if you had 100% move from August until the end of the year last year, and now you have 100% move, that takes you to exactly 150. So is it really out of the question to do what it just did again?
What if Bitcoin just is a bit of a nothing burger and then ETH is the one that doubles in 2025?
I don't think that would happen. I don't think ETH doubles and Bitcoin doesn't even break out. I
don't necessarily think that Bitcoin necessarily. I think Bitcoin can certainly break out, but I think it underperforms, and I think you're going to see that massive relative strength.
I don't disagree with that at all. I think that's entirely in the cards of Ethereum outperforming moving forward. Yeah, I think the setup is definitely there. Is it going to happen with Bitcoin not breaking out? That's the part that I don't think is going to happen. I think
I'll agree with you on that.
And Ethereum outperforms all at the same time. That makes the most sense to me.
Well, look, this you got to remember this entire bull market has been one where Bitcoin has just been showing all the relative strength. This entire bull market, and
Yeah.
it's actually been maybe one. It's been one of the strangest bull markets in crypto history. Right, we've obviously got all this massive
And that's
change and
saying a
innovation
lot.
happening.
If this is one of the strangest, what is
It's unequivocally. I mean, God, JC, Trump literally has launched a meme coin on Solana, and he's saying he's going to have an intimate dinner with the top 200
I
largest
believe it is
stocks
officially
holders.
now a utility token, is it not?
Um,
Gets
perhaps.
you into dinners?
Yeah, perhaps you could be right. And so I think that's to have this dinner with Trump, right? You need about just over 300K to be in the top 220 largest holders. I mean, do you think that's worth it?
I mean, not to
It's
me,
an
but
expensive
somebody
dinner.
wants to have dinner with. Like, if it was like Charlie Dow, I would do it. Or if it was like Leonardo Fibonacci or Babe Ruth, or like, I don't know. I mean, like, I'm sure. Is there anybody? Warren Buffett, probably. I would have dinner with Warren Buffett. Like Paul Tudor Jones. Like, there's some people that I would do that with. Donald Trump, like, doesn't mean anything to me. But like, if somebody's like a huge fan of the Donald and like likes his like reality TV shows or whatever it is that he does, like, yeah, knock yourself out, right?
Hell
Do
yeah.
they-
I think
do
it's
they
actually
like
I
Trump
think
in New
it's
Zealand? Are there Trumpers
what's that,
there?
sorry?
Are there Trumpers in New Zealand?
Are there Trumpers in New Zealand?
Is that like a thing?
No. No, not really.
Do
You
they?
know, we tend to be quite isolated from it. You know, I talk to my family, I talk to my friends, and I talk to them about what's happening in US politics, and they're like, Louis, we don't really give a shit. And then
Really?
they just
Nobody
go back
cares.
to, and then they
That's
just
good.
go back to talking about rugby.
Shout out to the Kiwis. I'm into
Shout
it.
out.
Yeah, shout
Yeah.
out to the Kiwis. All right. Derek Jeter from New Zealand.
Derek Jeter. Who's Derek Jeter?
Oh, all right. We got to let you go on that note. See you. Get him out of here.
He's not from New
Stick
Zealand.
him in the bathroom.
Wait, that is not true. Whatever, wherever you read that is not true. JC.
Derek Jeter's not from New Zealand. Thanks,
No, he's
Spencer.
from-
I know. Thanks.
You know where he's from? New Jersey. That's right. All right. See you, Louis.
Yeah.
All right, cheers, guys.
All right.
Louis, who is Derek Jeter? Is he allowed to like work
Dude,
here
he's
like
like-
after that? Like, what?
dude,
Come on. Are we gonna
dude,
give him a pass because he's
Give
from
him
New
a
Zealand?
pass. He gets a pass on.
Does
all
he
that
get a
stuff.
pass? Like, I
Yes.
don't know anything about soccer, but I know what Ronaldo Cristiano is or whatever his name is. At least I know who
Clearly
he
you
is.
don't. That's not even his name. So clearly you don't.
Not knowing who Derek Jeter is pretty ridiculous.
No, it is not.
That's I mean,
It is not ridiculous. He retired half of Louis' life ago.
That's
So,
fine. He's a young guy. He's the Suey Louie. Suey Louie. That was Suey Louie, everybody.
Wow, so much. I mean, so many good ones today. Suey Louie. Do you like that Wappy Trader?
Oh, it reminds me of Why Coffee. I can't believe we didn't come up with this sooner. Yeah, so good.
So good, man.
Yeah, it's great. I know your portfolio better than you. I'm not long ETH.
I mean, whatever. I have a few crypto punks and some dick butts. Like, maybe one day they're worth a lot of money. Probably not. I guess we'll see.
Somebody told me yesterday, they said, Brian Harris in the chat, and this happens all the time as a Giants fan. Hey, they say this guy is the next LT, the next Lawrence Taylor. Can I tell you how many times I've heard we drafted the next Lawrence Taylor or got the next Lawrence Taylor? There's one LT. So I hope this guy's good. We'll see. But shout out Cam Ward, Hurricanes.
Shout out Cam Ward, Miami Hurricanes. That is the third time that a Miami Hurricane player is drafted 1 overall. Who were the first two?
I could probably get one of them.
What? Go.
First
Maybe.
overall Miami Hurricane.
I don't know. No idea.
Give me
They haven't
give
had
me
good
somebody
quarterback.
from the late 80s. Give me like
Ben Dorsey.
No.
Give me I don't know. Who were the best players on those late 80s teams?
Bernie Kosar.
Nope.
I don't know. Tell
You
me.
had a one, Vincent Testaverde.
Okay.
Vincent
Testaverde, yeah.
Testaverde from Long Island. There he is. Paul knows Vinny. And who's the other one? Ready?
Is the wide receiver?
Wait, can you stop? Give me the year.
I don't remember the
Well,
year.
all
The
right.
year probably 90, maybe 89.
Give or
Russell,
take.
Maryland. Russell, Maryland.
No, wouldn't know that.
You got to get the big uglies down low. I mean, it starts there in the trenches.
Big uglies. We should have Bruce Frazier on. I'm a big fan of Bruce Frazier. We'll reach out. We'll have Bruce on. We've talked about having him on before.
All right, I got trades to put on. I gotta go.
Wait, we got Fonz in the house. Fonz, you want to come
I'll
on?
see you later, Fonz.
Fonz, are you here? I hope so. I think so. Well, if he's not, we'll find out. How about that? Where's my Fonzie video? There it is.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Fonz?
Happy Friday, buddy.
Hey, how's everything going?
Good. How was your week?
It's been very good, to be honest. Very active. We have did some good trades, and the markets are, rewarding us a little bit, so that's good. It feels good.
How about this market?
Fonz, are you seeing the same risk on that Steve is seeing?
They're talking about the Zweig breath thrust. Somebody called me yesterday talking about the Zweig breath thrust, Alfonso.
Yeah, I mean, everyone is talking about that, right? So it's one of the most powerful signals in market, I will say history, right? Let me put the chart here. Like JC's comments.
JC would like to know if they have Zweig breath thrusts in Venezuela. He was funny today.
Yeah, he was funny today. That's true. So yeah, I mean, basically, we have a huge breath thrust yesterday. It's been carving out for the last 10 days. So basically, this thrust is like a combination of breadth and momentum. Not only tells you like the participation, but also like how quickly the shift happens. So this is how it works, right? So it is like the 10 exponential moving average of advancing divided by advancing plus declining stocks of the NYSE, falling below 40% or 0.4, and within 10 days, that same reading, that same ratio must surge above 6150 or 0.615. So we had that signal yesterday, and it only happened 18 times since 1950. And the long-term returns are very, very bullish at the end of the day. So we had that. I know Grant writes something about another thrust that we just got. So this bounce lately has been very, very powerful and very, very meaningful. So right now we're in that big resistance level in the S&P 500 around 550, and let's see what happens next.
Oh, sorry, Steve. Wait, Steve, you're on mute. My bad.
I think. Can you hear me?
Yep, you're good.
Yeah. I think this is great, Fonz. I think it's just another item on what is now a growing list suggesting we're going higher, and the bottom's in, right? I don't think by itself I do like the stupid test when I look at these indicators. There he is. I do the stupid test, and like for this one, I would love to have somebody on and ask them, where was this signal in the 90s and the late 80s? It took 15 years off and then came back. And why does it happen so much more frequently in more recent cycles than, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 years ago?
Can we just give a shout out to Marty Zweig? Remember that asshole, Burton Malkiel or whatever his name is? He's like, I never met a rich technician.
Come on, dude.
It's not because there aren't any rich technicians, you moron. It's just that rich technicians don't want to hang out with you, right? Marty Zweig sold his apartment in New York City for like $60 million or $70 million or something like that. One of the great technicians of our day. So Burton Malkiel, if you're out there listening,
Burton Malkiel, I don't think is alive anymore. And if he is, he's
Burton
really
Malkiel.
old. But
it wasn't that there weren't any rich technicians. It's just that they didn't want to hang out with you, bro. That's why you never met him.
He's also a legend in his own right. So I will not hear.
Why? Because he wrote a bunch of lies in a book. Like
he is alive.
Great in traditional media.
He's 92. God damn.
Book was trash.
Book was garbage.
Oh well.
We use it as Kingling around here.
Okay.
That's a Woods term there, Strazza. Kingly.
I don't know it.
You don't know that one. All right. You don't,
No.
They don't have that in the beach.
We got some earnings. You see the Sphere?
I did. It was
16%.
up. It's up 12% this morning. I'm a little bit distracted by this Pony AI up 25%. God only knows what they do.
This thing is more than this is Chinese AI. It's so good. This thing's more than doubled in the last 2 days in one morning.
You know, we have not talked about this new Bitcoin IPO. What is it? CES? Is that no? That's not right. What's the ticker, guys? CEP?
I bet Kenny will be riding the Pony Boy today.
Yeah, CEP is the one. This is crazy town.
Schlumberger
And
down.
what is it?
It's another microstrategy.
Is it?
Got it.
Yeah.
It's backed by Tether and SoftBank. Okay,
You
what
see
could go
this-
wrong?
You see this app Lovin and QBTS, the quantum stock, now have leveraged ETFs on them.
Nice.
And pay attention to how
That's
this works.
that's not a signal.
No, it's not. But the stocks pop like when this happens. It's a whole new thing. These individual stock levered funds.
Yeah. Until they close, they can close tomorrow, and and they might. So it wouldn't matter. These funds are so small. The only one that matters, Steve, is the MicroStrategy extended universe, right? And Tesla, right?
Wait,
Those are the only ones that matter.
did the markets get a pop here or no?
They're not even open yet.
No, not really. No, I'm looking at the futures. So at 9:05, apparently Trump spoke.
If you say so.
Yeah, he said he spoke with Xi. At 9:05.
Okay. Look. I'll be honest. I'm sitting here and as you know, I'm underinvested as hell. I've been doing a little bit of buying these past few weeks, but clearly not enough. Is sort of where my head is at. So I have to go put some money to work right now. So I'm gonna go do that. And JC's here.
Alfonso, can you help
I want to
Spencer?
throw up slide 2. You want to do it? We'll finish with some recess slide 2 and get out of
All
here.
I got a recess too. Come on, let's do it.
All right.
All right, so you guys know I have quite the collection of magazine covers.
Here we
Some of the greatest contrarian indicators of all time. These journalists are great. We need if they start losing their jobs, we need GoFundMe accounts to keep them employed. We need the data. And if you throw up slide 2 and you look at the last 4 Economist magazines, you know, if this Zweig breath thrust turns out to be what it is, and you know this market squeezes like we think it can, you have 9 consecutive weeks where individual investors, over 50% of them, are bearish. That has never happened in history. The Economist magazine scaring the crap out of your parents. Man, I think that if this works and we get that squeeze that we think is coming, I think you take all 4, you make a custom frame for all 4 of them, and you put them all there together as one for the record books.
The level of just overreaction to this news has been pretty incredible, I think.
Yeah.
That's great. I went to the comedy club last night.
Were you doing stand-up?
No.
Got it. You were a patron.
Yeah. They have a comedy club downtown, and every now and then, like, somebody good comes out. Louis C.K. was here not long ago. I didn't get to go to that, but would have been great. So TJ Miller was there last night.
Oh, nice.
So I went. He's not like a stand-up guy, but I went just because I loved that show, Silicon Valley, on HBO. It was like a cult classic, and he was, frankly, maybe the best character, Erlich Bachman, and he's like that. It's the same. It was one of those characters, right, where like that's him. So like his stand-up was very much. It was good. It was good. You know, something different.
That was a great show. That's the only show where you could say it was perfect for its time, but also still early. Like they could do that show again now, and it would still be relevant, right?
It was definitely early.
I like the Chinese guy. What's his name?
Jin Yang.
Jin Yang.
Yeah,
Jin Yang.
he does a stand-up like on Netflix or something. That guy's hilarious.
Funny. Jimmy O Yang. He's very funny.
Dude, that guy's good. I like that guy.
Yep. I don't really have a recess. Sorry, guys. My life is boring. I'm just preparing to.
How many days until the big day?
We're about 5 weeks out. June 1st is the due
You better
date.
get your sleep, bro. You are so fucked when that kid comes. You're never gonna sleep again.
Yeah, apparently that's what
Right?
it is.
You're gonna be okay,
Oh.
Spencer.
Should I feel guilty about breaking his balls, or should I just make
I-
sure that he knows?
I'll say this. No, you don't feel guilty. It's been a lot more real these past like 2 weeks because we've actually had to like start doing things like assembling nurseries and plan and just making plans. Right. I didn't really do anything for like 7 months. Right. So now I'm actually doing things. So it's a lot more real now than it was like at this time last month. Right. So.
You know what? I'll leave you with this, Spencer. And this is I was thinking about it the other day. I'm like, should I feel guilty about breaking his balls all the time that he's having a kid and scaring the crap out of him? And I do feel a little bit guilty. Here's the good news. Here's the good news. It's gonna, as much as you're gonna love the kid, and it's a lot of work, but it's a beautiful thing. You're gonna really appreciate work so much because like your work is now gonna become like your vacation, right? Like you're taking care of the kid, you're wiping butts and you're doing all that stuff, and it's like going to work is like it's like more peaceful, like you'll appreciate it more. So there are side benefits that you'll come to learn.
You gave me some wise advice when we last saw each other. You said that the worst day, I think it was you, if it wasn't, then I'm wrong and don't take credit for it, but you said the worst day / night, or the first day is the worst day, and then it just gets better. Every day gets better from there.
Yeah, and worse is probably not the best way to put it, the day your child is born, but in terms of like difficulty, like level of difficulty, I would say, like the first day, the second day, the third day, like the first 2 weeks, like the kid can't get a fever in the first 2 weeks, then the first month, kid can't get a fever in the first, like there's huge hurdles, like the 2 weeks, the month, the 3 months, the 6 months, and like every one of those hurdles is like, right.
We will see. All right, so the first day is the most difficult. It gets easier every day after. I like that. That's good. Fawn, Steve, you got anything?
Yeah, tomorrow, big soccer game. So I'm very, very excited. Madrid versus Barcelona. It's a final. So, perfect Saturday afternoon for me tomorrow.
Is this El Clasico or is this Champions League?
Well, it always, every time that Madrid plays against Barcelona, it's called the Clasico.
What a stupid question, Spencer. What was I thinking?
No, but it's not in the Champions League.
It's Jersey guy talking soccer.
Hey, I tried.
In a different
cup. You did try. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, so you're...
Steve.
I went to the comedy club last night.
Oh, that's right. You went already. My bad. Okay, we're done. Let's get out of here. Thanks for watching. Drop us a like. Appreciate it. Check out the replay to Kenny's stream from yesterday. It is pinned to the top of the chat. And we'll see you guys, all right? Go make some money. Do some buying.
Adios.
I don't know.
YOLO responsibly.
Happy Friday.
Bye, guys.
I can't take no loss. I don't need